So I went to Paris last week, and to my surprise, they actually had the K54 Air Jordan 1 Low OG in my size. Oh yeah, and if you didn't know by now, my name is DJ, and this is the DNA Show. So today we're gonna be unboxing these. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my experience out there for the first time, and then giving you guys all the details and review of this shoe as well. So as you can see from the box, you have your hinge lid right here, your all black, kind of a matte black finish to that right there. You have your K54 branding right here in the center of the lid with the glossy yellow logo and a yellow Jumpman. And then looking at the size tag, it reads Air Jordan 1 Retro Low OG Q54 black tour yellow chili red, size 13, just for me. And again, I got lucky grabbing these for retail at the Nike store out in Paris. Now opening the lid of the box, you're gonna notice on the center of the lid right here, they have a small branding and a little patch, and this is actually just a sticker, not printed onto the lid, and it says World Street Ball Championship, and then the same thing on the bottom half with the flip colors and everything, as you can see from the photo. Now looking at the paper, this has that same type of branding and imagery like we see from all of the merch and the different things that they have from the collaboration, because there's a lot of good merch. Actually, you see those images that I'm showing you right there, a lot of good stuff, but that's going to be on here all throughout the semi-translucent paper as well with the white text. And then you got the shoe, which is also individually wrapped in a piece of white paper for each sneaker. And there we have it. Oh, we got the shoe. Now, before we get into all the details of this sneaker, you know we gotta go over the history first. So when it comes to Jordan Brand and K54, a lot of people call it Quai 54, but it's K54. They have a pretty rich history, and they've been doing this for a pretty long time. K54 started back in 2003, and it was inspired by street basketball in America, basically New York street basketball. And they wanted to create their own version out there in Paris. Eventually, this started to slowly build up to become a bigger thing. And I remember talking to Gentry Humphrey previously on the podcast about how they decided to be a part of it, and they loved what was going on, and they saw different people out in the trees and just watching the game, and everything was super fun and looked like a great time. So Jordan Brand decided to partner with K54 in 2007. After that, we then saw the rough and tough Air Jordan 1s, also known as the K54 Jordan 1s. If you guys remember, during that time I was collecting, this was during high school for me, those were like so dope. They were sought after like crazy. You could only get them overseas. They weren't in America. You don't see them too often. It's kind of like a unicorn type sneaker. And after those had came out in 2009, we then started to see more releases each and every year. And man, those K54 9s, that was another great one. I think that was 2010 or 2011 when those came out. And it's kind of funny because it does have some similarities to this. This is a darker version, but to see how it's evolved over the years, it's always cool to see the previous retros from the past. And speaking of that, it's been about 15 plus years at this point. We have seen multiple retros, iterations, high tops, low tops, 2s and 6s and 8s and 7s and this, that, the other. There's so many different versions that we have seen come out over the years. Now, this is something that some people collect individually, trying to go after these because it's something that you can't get in the States, and it's always fun to go after those. And then we can't forget to mention the black and green and the white and green K54 5s. Now, one was a friends and family, one was a regular released pair, and there was a drastic difference in the prices. And that's another cool part of, you know, learning about this collection and trying to collect this collection as well, because they have special versions for the friends and family and the athletes and things like that. And then they have the pairs that release to the public. They do like the same model but different colorways. We actually seen the Jordan 5 redone again. They did a black pair and a white pair again with the red accents on those. So as you can see, definitely a rich history when it comes to all these releases and these retros, especially the 3s. People like those as well. I could go on with the list. We popped up a lot of photos. So besides that, let's go ahead and get into the shoe. Hey, just wanted to let you guys know real quick, we're getting really close to 400,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We got a big giveaway coming, so stay tuned for that. Let's get back to the video. Looking at the outsole, you'll notice you have your classic retro Air Jordan 1 OG style bottom right here, all yellow right there on that hit. And then going up to the midsole, you're gonna see it's kind of like that two-tone vibe. You got that yellow line within the all black right there with the black stitch. And then onto the upper, same thing, all black, all yellow. And I love how they added that yellow stitch all throughout the sneaker to make the shoe pop. Now, I talked about these previously on the monthly update in the past, how I really like these a lot, and I was excited to try to go after these. And then to be able to literally walk into the store, randomly just see them on the shelves, I'm like, typically in that scenario, they don't got my size, but it doesn't hurt to ask, right? And the pair that was on display was a size 13. I think it was actually the last pair that they had in the store. So convenient for me, I was able to get the shoe. Now looking on this sneaker online, I thought it was like two different sets of like suedes, but actually it's like a black suede, and then you have more of a canvas-like material here on the yellow area. So on the side panel, the vamp, and on the other side panel here, that's gonna be that same type of material. And these come standard with a pair of all black laces, and they have two additional laces. You have yellow laces and red laces to accent the little red hits here on the side of the logo on the inside of the sole, and then also the parts of the merch like we talked about previously. Now going to the tongue, you're gonna have that all yellow mesh. This is a different color yellow, and then on the top of the tongue you see you have your K54 branding in black text with the black logo. Looking inside the collar, you're gonna have your all black material there, and then like I was talking about on the insole, you have your red hit here with this dope branding. This is all kind of related to the motorsport team and things that they have going on that with the racing and everything that Jordan's been doing with the cars and everything. So to see them kind of blend the two worlds and give that design element when it comes to how they decided to go around this colorway, the merch, and how they executed those logos and everything, I think they did a great job overall. Now, one major thing to note about this shoe, which I really want to talk about the most, is these are different than your normal Air Jordan 1 Low OGs, and they might be the best ones right now. This is not the 85 cut, this is the Low OG cut. And the reason why I say that is, first thing you notice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes on the shoe. Typically they have 7 on the Low OGs. Now they're getting back to the 8 holes. And if you look at the swoosh, you have the large swoosh on the shoe. The toe cap and the vamp and everything looks a lot more similar to that 85 shape, a little bit more. And it has an overall different structure for this shoe. So this one is essentially like the first one, or that first batch of giving us that OG low shape with that OG vibe to it as well, without having the 85 outsole on the shoe. But still, the upper of the shoe is a little bit different than the 85 cut, if that makes any sense. For all my OG 1 Low fans, you know what I'm talking about. There's definitely differences between these and then. And I think a lot of people compare it back to that 2015 time when you saw the Breads or the Royals or something like that. Speaking of that, I got the Royals right here. Notice on these Royals, they have the larger swoosh. This is the older pair. It was 2015, right? Yeah, 2015 on these. And that's gonna be the kind of standard. This was the golden standard with the bigger swoosh and things like that from the past. Now, the big thing that you'll notice on these is actually the toe, the shape. You'll notice there's a lot more space right here on the newer version compared to the previous version. It was a lot more lower cut on the 2015 style and shape. But this is what they had got away from, and they're getting back to it now, and they're refining it even more and making it better. So I think I'm excited to see what they come with next. They're talking about Chicago Air Jordan 1 Low. I've seen a brown and white one that's kind of like similar to a Travis Scott. There's a lot of different versions that are in the works for the future. So definitely stay tuned for that. And that's another reason why I was excited to grab these, because of the shapes, the cuts, and then obviously the storyline, and you know, wanting to actually have these and then go Steelers, you know what I'm saying? But besides all that, definitely very excited to add these to my collection. Now I want to see what you guys think about these. I typically post an Instagram story post with a poll on there, and then I want to see, you know, fire or trash, what do you guys pick the results? So if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on IG to participate in that. This is what the people said. 73% of the people chose fire and 27% of the people chose trash. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised by that. I didn't hear too many people talking about it. I get it because it's not an American release. I can see why it just kind of flies under the radar or whatever you want to call it. But again, we're on the internet now. Back in the day, like back in the day, you know, a while ago, 2007, 2008, 2009, all that stuff, you did see stuff through blogs, but it's not the same as it is now. You have so much access to seeing, accessing, purchasing, just all the information now these days with Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. There's so many different avenues. So to see these just not really in the mix like that on the internet was kind of surprising to me. And then also to see these results, because I feel like based off of what I saw on the internet, I was like, oh, they're probably going to be like 40, 60, 40 people like it, 60 people don't type situation. But apparently more people like the shoe than I thought. So I'm not mad at that. You know, I appreciate the shoe as well. But let me know what you guys think. And again, we're getting very close to 400,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you on another one. We got a big giveaway coming for that.
I would never let you down. It's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make what I'ma wear today. I would never let you down. It's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make what I'ma wear today. I was made for it. It's in the DNA.